morning, everyone. Wow, it is not as hot as last time we were here. Good morning, everybody. We're going to let everybody get logged on and sign on. This is a live stream we're doing. What are we live on, Hosh? YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and then we're capturing?
Yep.
On another one? All right, very good. Well, I'm Reed Booth, Killer Bee Guy. We got Hosh on the camera. Say good morning, Hosh.
Good morning, Hosh.
I knew he was going to do it. So we're up here in Mescal. Now, this is a redo, which means we were here before, and you probably recognize this wall back here. This wall kind of knew it was going to be an issue. Hollow walls and hollow trees and old hollow buildings, and oh my God, pain in the ass. The bees in the shed, on the other hand, they're gone. Remember that? But we were up here a month ago?
Maybe about that.
About a month ago?
About that,
and it was hot AF. Oh my God, it was 108 or something like that.
Yeah, brutal.
And it's a balmy 95 right now, I think. It's really not that bad. Got our cooling vests on, of course, and I love them for two reasons. They, of course, are cool. You know, Don sent these to us, and man, these ice packs, it just saved my life and kept Hosh and Trez comfortable. And also, they look like bulletproof vests. So that's for two reasons I like them. It's like, duh, you know, pretty fucking awesome. Oh, I bet you I could get the plates to put in, and they would be bulletproof. Dual purpose, cooling and protection.
Yeah.
Probably up to a 45 ACP.
They're probably bee-proof.
Only right
a bee's
here.
not going to get you through there.
Yeah, but over
protect
here,
your vital organs from bee stings.
They're going to be here. It's going to be hell. I've got no protection until I get my suit on, of course.
Yeah.
So good morning, everyone. I'm gonna get my suit on. It's Hosh and I flying today. It looks like we have a removal tomorrow. We're gonna live stream in Bisbee, down in Hosh's neighborhood again in a fifth wheel hitch. Now we aren't sure if it's a new conceal or if we're gonna cut the bottom of that fifth wheel out and remove all the comb, because they've been there over a year, which means 5 years. I don't know.
Right.
Who the hell knows? And it's also going to be a lesson on what not to do, kids, because these people are being very good and getting rid of them. So that's awesome. But a block away, some new guy moved in and has a beehive.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Put a beehive of European bees. Who knows? If they are now, they won't be next week, right? They'll be Africanized again. Populating the whole damn neighborhood with Africanized bees. Oh my God. Because as everybody knows, okay, the bees in this fifth wheel that we're going to remove, and the bees in this wall that we're going to get rid of again, and the bees in that hive that this person is keeping, they swarm. So each one of these hives is putting out 30 new hives a year with Africanization, left to their own devices. European bees, 5 or 6. We haven't got any anyway. So they're just populating the whole neighborhood with bees. It's horrible. It's just ridiculous. So responsible people go, look, we've got bees. We've got to get rid of them. And then there's the other guy down next door that says, oh, I'm going to keep bees.
Yeah. Should we tell him about our friend in Bisbee?
Well, we're probably going to have a reenactment. I mean,
most of y'all are familiar with the video. In fact, it's in our pin videos in TikTok.
Right. Yeah, it is in our pin. Is it still in the pin?
It is. It is. We call it World War B there. It's a long play video. I think it's about 10 minutes long, something like that. But basically, last summer, bees gone bad, or World War B.
Right.
Person keeping a hive up the gulch.
Yep.
And we say, don't do it. Don't do it in Arizona. Don't keep bees in Arizona. Don't keep bees in the American Southwest.
No.
Leave it up to the professionals. No backyard beekeeping in the American Southwest. And in fact, no backyard beekeeping in the Deep South.
They're invasive.
Anywhere. No backyard beekeeping in general in the Western Hemisphere. But, you know, who am I talking to there? I mean, who's going to...
You're talking to the choir, which is the problem.
Right.
He's preaching the wrong sermon to the right choir.
But here's the thing. Bees gone bad, World War B.
Same thing.
Y'all remember that lady? She was keeping a bee box. Real self-righteous. I don't want to go into the details about it, but...
Hates my ass.
Hates Reed. And anyway... So you guys aren't going to believe this, but we just got word.
Well, you got a call from a friend, right?
I got a call from a friend
House sitting.
who has a friend of a friend is house sitting over there at her place. She's keeping bees again.
Oh God! So the romance, the delusions continue. Oh my God! See, the big boys that keep bees for a living, for a profession, the bees. They have 5,000 hives, 10,000 hives. They know what they're doing. They in-house. They breed their queens in-house. They haul them across the country to pollinate. They don't stop they pollinate fields like monocrop, okay, monocrop, like 1,000 acres of almond trees. They don't stop every 10 miles and let their bees pollinate whatever's in that area. They haul them there, then they haul them across country the other way. They breed their own queens in-house. The problem with small beekeepers, the backyard beekeeper, is the real problem is they think they know what they're doing. Adamantly. Oh my God. And the problem is they may know what they're doing with European bees, but they're in denial about the fact that, especially in the desert Southwest and soon to be in the rest of the country, your European bees will become Africanized. The big guys already know this, and they requeen them all the time. They raise their own queens. They don't have to buy queens. They requeen them, and they raise their own queens. So the denial about that there's a few denials going on with the backyard beekeeper. A primary one, the real one that is the escape route for them when everything else presents, like the dangers and whatnot, is, well, we're helping the local environment with pollinators. Okay, wait a minute. Hold up a second. Here we come to the actual fact that honeybees are invasive to the Western Hemisphere. They don't belong here. Honeybees are invasive. There were no honeybees in the state of Arizona before 1872. Now this can of worms, we're opening again, and it deserves to be opened over and over again until people start to learn. If you're going to be ignorant and arrogant at the same time, that's not good. If you're going to be educated and arrogant, that's okay, but you want to make sure that you're understanding what's going on. Honeybees are invasive to the Western Hemisphere. They do not belong here. And so they are not helping the native environment. If you want to help your native environment, do not keep honeybees in your backyard. You're hurting our native pollinators. Honeybees are invasive. They're not native. They do not belong here. And they even hurt our native plants. So it's the illusion of, now we're getting honey out of them. Well, of course everybody loves honey, and that's not going away. We're never going to get rid of all of them, period. There's going to be honeybees here in the Western Hemisphere forever, period. That's all there is to it. I get a lot of responses, comments from people. Well, what if we did get rid of all of them? Wouldn't we all die? It's like, okay, first of all, that's a stretch. We're not going to get rid of all of them. They're here. It's like buffalo grass. We're just trying to knock it down a little bit. Buffalo grass is absolutely evil. The Asian carp in the Mississippi River are absolutely evil. And so are honeybees, actually, because yes, they give us honey, but they do not help with our native pollinators. They hurt our native pollinators, especially Africanization, and they hurt our native plants. The very plants the backyard beekeepers want to help, they actually hurt, because many of our native pollinators that for eons grew up with these plants, honeybees did not, grew up with these plants, are attuned to them. And will actually, there are certain plants that a bumblebee will go to and vibrate at a certain hertz, like a vibration, an actual wave. And that causes that plant to react and open up and produce and let go of the pollen that it needs to let go of, so that bumblebee, the lure is the nectar, that bumblebee can take that pollen inadvertently to another flower further away than a honeybee would, and thus prevent inbreeding, and do that. Honeybees, that doesn't happen with those plants. That pollen is not released. And on top of that, honeybees will steal that nectar, will take that nectar. They're Vikings, they're total Vikings, they're hoarders, they're marauders. They will steal, they will take the honey, and they will actually kill and drive off our native pollinators on the flowers that these native pollinators are supposed to be pollinating. So it's a bad thing. Backyard beekeeping has got to go away. Yeah, all the beekeepers associations absolutely hate me. I'm just speaking the truth. I don't know. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm pro native pollinator. That's all there is to it. I'm against invasive pollinator. Now, of course, invasive species, too big a subject for my brain. I'm sticking with pollinators, which is still too big a subject for my brain. But the biggest culprit are honeybees, period, in the Western Hemisphere. The biggest culprit, endangerment, besides even pesticides, to our native pollinators are honeybees. Africanization is a whole nother level. Oh my God, Africanization, way out in left field, taking it 1,000%. Move the decimal point over, because they are the total Vikings evil. They're the berserkers of the group. They will kill each other from different hives on flowers. They are absolutely insane, and let alone how vicious they are to dogs, animals, livestock, people, frogs. I don't fucking know, every damn thing, right? So it's a real issue, and it's got to become more of one, because this romance around honeybees, it's like, yeah, you're getting the honey from your hive, but at what price? The price to those native pollinators in your neighborhood. You're depriving your neighbors' plants that may be trying to create a native plant garden and just let natural, even plant native plants for native pollinators. You're helping to kill off their native pollinators because you get some honey out of the deal, and for your delusion that you think you're helping your environment in the Western Hemisphere. Now, if you're in England, Asia, Africa, absolutely. That's where honeybees belong. They do not belong in the Western Hemisphere. No honeybees in the state of Arizona before 1872, ever. No honeybees in the Western Hemisphere before the early 1600s.
1622.
1622, ever. There are records of when the colonists brought them. Native Americans hated the bees so much they called them white man's flies, and that was the nice bees. They do not belong here, period. So the people that are under the delusion, I'm going to keep bees in my backyard to help my environment. No, you're doing the opposite. You're actually helping to destroy our native pollinators. And also, it's gotten worse now because of the Africanization. It's really brought it to the forefront. Before that, before these bees started trying to kill everybody and livestock and just be so damned ornery, it was not even a thought about honeybees were invasive. Mainly because they didn't try to kill us. Now, honeybees are also not as competitive on the flowers for the nectar as Africanized bees. Africanized bees are bringing this all to a head. All right, so don't kill the messenger here. Don't even hate the messenger. I'm just telling you what the actual facts are.
You actually can't kill the messenger.
No, you're on. I'm on camera.
Like,
Tough
good
shit.
luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck killing the messenger.
Yeah, no, yeah. I like these camera things. This is good. Yelling at each other across the field, that'd be different. That 45 cal will reach that far. But, we're just, no, we're, it's just the facts. That's all it is. Africanized bees are driving to or near extinction a lot of our native pollinators. They're absolutely horrible for our native plants as far as pollination goes. We have enough trouble with invasive species. Why add fuel to the fire?
And the thing is honeybees are actually good at pollinating the invasive species that have come over from...
Oh, they're great at pollinating invasive species.
And so this is the thing,
plants.
is a lot of people don't know what native plants are and what invasive plants are, and they don't know which pollinators are native and which... Yeah,
right.
that's a whole...
It's almost put it in a blender and give me a straw.
Right.
But an obvious thing that you can do, an obvious thing that's in our face now every single day, especially with Africanization, is backyard beekeeping.
Stop.
Gotta stop. Gotta stop, everybody.
Just stop backyard beekeeping.
Just stop it.
Just stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Don't do it. Stop it now.
Stop it.
Don't. Stop.
Yeah, but again, you guys, You know, you have to understand too that there's a psychology at play that's really, really unhealthy. The fact that this woman, that her bees would blow up, sting people 750 yards away, send people to the hospital. You guys didn't catch this on camera, but while this was happening, Reed and I separated in the midst of the war for whatever reason, and I'm up the gulch with her, and she says to me in a low voice, he fearmongers.
While her bees are attacking.
While her bees are attacking the gulch and sending people to the hospital, he's a fearmonger.
There were firemen trapped in a house with a patient that had gotten stung up. They couldn't get to the fire department. You can see it on the video. Hosh and I had to blaze a trail for them to get her to the ambulance.
Yeah.
And I'm the fearmonger. So, you know.
He's the fearmonger while her bees are attacking people. Now, less than a year later, she is keeping bees again in that same damn bee box. She's keeping bees again. And the person that is house sitting for her had no idea this event had occurred. She never said anything to him about it. They never discussed be careful around the beehive. She never discussed Africanization from him. What does he know? He's from out of state. He's just having a nice vacation. He's like, oh, the bees are so nice. He's hanging out next to this beehive. And my friend's like, have you seen this video? Because this was less than a year ago. He says, oh my God, I had no idea. She never said anything to me. So she's endangering this guy's life. All for her self-righteous, narcissistic trip that she's on about honeybees.
I actually talked down, because there were 13 people stung. 2 people ended up in the hospital from that incident. And, of course, I don't care how experienced a beekeeper you are. You can't tell by looking if your bees have gone Africanized. I talked about 4 people down from lawsuits, from suing her on this one. And so here we go again, and I'm still the devil. I really don't, I'm not anymore. I got pretty thick fucking skin. I don't give a shit. But to have a replay.
And I'm helping the devil.
Yeah.
I'm the devil's helper.
Does that make you a demon?
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, if he gets stung,
just the assistant, the bee assistant to the devil.
If he gets stung, he's a screaming demon. That was fucking funny. I don't care who you are.
So anyway, guys, pay attention because I'll bet you.
Look for World War B2 coming to a theater near you.
World War B3?
B2. B2.
Well, because really World War B1 was 1998 in the Gulch.
Well, that was in 1998 where a guy that was at that time the worst stinging incident in the world for years and years. And it was in the Gulch in Old Bisbee and in 1998. And you can look it up. It was done a lot of reenactments with like Nat Geo, Discovery, Animal Planet, blah, blah, blah. And old guy had a hive in a slump block building that had been there for 60 years, as long as anybody could remember. And it was right up the street from St. Elmo's Bar, what I used to call home. And he didn't know about Africanization at that point. It had not been declared that they were all Africanized at that point. Shortly after that, in that same year, yes, the labs called from Tucson, told everybody don't send any more samples. They're all Africanized. He sprayed a little Raid in the hole, and the bees started pouring out. He didn't even get stung. Then he started hearing the screams. 18 people stung, 9 people in the hospital, killed the dog. Cops, fire department were all in the hospital by the time I got there. I mean, in the hospital. It was a total cluster. And so that was the first one. Now we have another one. And last year, all right, 2022, Bees Gone Bad, or World War B, and it's on all the platforms. And so look forward to installment number 3.
Yeah.
It just kind of pisses me off a bit because of the denial and the vitriol that exists toward the truth. I can't stand that shit. So. All right, but we do have some fun to have, and we'd like to thank everyone. A word from our sponsor. If you'd like to get some honey, go to killerbeeguy.com. No, we don't keep bees. We take the money and the honey. That's right. We do not relocate these goddamn bees, so anyway.
Yeah. Hey, gang, listen, also, we're now on 7 platforms, okay?
Yeah, holy shit.
You can catch our material across 7 platforms.
Name them up. Can you remember them?
We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Threads. We are on X, formerly known as Twitter. And we are on Patreon.
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 Yes.
We're on Patreon.
Patreon. Well, god dang you guys.
I don't know if you want to say anything about Patreon.
I don't know much about it except if you want, I don't know, if you want to help support us, I guess Patreon's really good, right?
That's the one.
I guess it's the one, yeah, it really is. So, and we need all the help we can get. I mean, thanks to folks like Don and Lee and Mel and Dan and Linda and I don't know, I can't even remember everybody. And all of our members, of course, on YouTube. And we just had Abigail just re-signed up as queen. Thank you so much. Your honey is on its way. Everybody's honey's out for the first of the month. Because if you sign up at the queen level on YouTube, on the memberships, you get a free jar of honey sent to you every month along with all the other perks. And we're working on the next level. Because our capes are going to be done. Woo!
Yes.
Well, let's go take a look and see what we got with these little ones.
I can't wait to do nuke and seals with capes on.
Huh?
I can't wait to do a nuke and seal with a cape on.
Actually, yeah, I mean, to crawl under something or up in an attic, I'm going to take mine off. Because I don't want to louse it up too bad, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's go. Now, if you guys remember this wall, this was kind of a cluster. This, watch for snakes. We just never know around here. Now, you guys may remember our buddy who was here before and kind of takes care of the place. He was weed whacking around that shed about 40 or 50 yards away here a couple days ago, and these bees came over and chased him off. So this is the problem with these hollow walls. I mean, we're back here. This is the problem.
Well, it's a classic Cochise County design where pallets with chicken wire and stucco over top of it.
Exactly.
And the pallets, of course, are hollow, so there's plenty of room for bees to get in there.
There was one little hole here. You see that one?
Yeah.
Missed it completely.
Yeah.
That had about 5 bees around it. So we're going to remember that one. I just saw a bee come from on the other side. So we got to go see what's over there.
Yeah. You want me to go take a look?
Oh, yeah.
Can I hand you this for now?
Yeah.
I'll walk over there. You hand it.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look around because we want to find all the holes where they are. And, yeah, we can unpeel some of the nubbins here. So this, I mean, 20 feet we had to seal. This is a problem with these damn walls.
Oh, yeah, they were coming out down
They were coming out down here. It may still be. I think there's a hole on the other side or something. Oh, that's all holes. And another problem with these damn pallet walls is...
There's actually a dead bee in this crack.
And they don't, well, that's good bee. Dead bee's good bee.
In the Western Hemisphere.
In the Western Hemisphere, you damn right it is. Of course, there are problems now. If you go to Hems Holistic Bees, that's H-E-M-S, Hems Holistic Bees, or Hems Holistic Honey. Our buddies out in the UK at Pest Interceptors have been having a lot of trouble with really hot hives, and they suspect are Africanized because in all their years of fiddling around, they've never had that type of behavior. You know what we have to do, Hosh?
What?
We have to look around the rest of this, like over there, in this wall, and make sure that we don't have any other hives that are moved in anywhere, because this whole damn thing is ripe. Is a perfect condo. Oh yeah, we got to put more in here, that's for sure. Oh, hey, look, I just heard. What does that mean? Oh, there's our steel wolf. Well, that's a find. Okay, I got a few coming out of this hole now. I'm just...
Yeah.
Anything over there?
No, not yet.
Okay. I am worried then.
With construction in general, you've got... And nobody thinks this way, and it's probably not going to be thinking this way for a while. But it's voids.
Forever.
It's voids in the structures.
Yeah.
Voids is what you want.
Yeah,
to watch
gaps
out
and
for.
holes. Yep.
Hollow places.
Hey, the problem with these damn bees is 1/4 of an inch. Anything bigger than 1/4 of an inch, crack or hole, and it's ridiculous, is what it is. We're gonna have to see if we can shove this down in further, Hosh.
Yeah.
And then fill with expanding foam.
Okay.
Because
I'm not seeing any other holes on this side.
all right, well, we need to go and look elsewhere because these bees attacked him all the way over there And they could have been coming out of that one little hole, but I kind of doubt it. I mean, they're not really.
Oh, you think there may be another?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Another hive somewhere.
If you want to give me the cameras.
Yeah, here you go. Oh, if you want to go do a little look around?
Sure.
I'm going to start poking around with that a little bit. Yeah, you know, it always worries me, like on where those trees are and stuff. You know,
Sure.
in between stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they will be sneaky about shit.
Sneaky bees. That's the thing about Africanized honeybees. Sneakiness. No, they are clever, actually. I've had situations where we've done a job and, you know, stormed a hive and taken them out, and they're watching me. I mean, from inside the truck, they'll get inside and they'll hide in the corner and they're just watching me. It's really funny. They are definitely a better bee, superior. So for those of you who are new to the channel, these honeybees are not natural. They were created under laboratory conditions in Brazil in 1957. I just put up a short today that shows some of the spread. And, you know, they build twice as fast, twice as big. I mean, and they're, you know, they're really bad news. Just hyper defensive. The problem is they won't let you get close to what they're doing. So they'll come out and attack you from a distance. And when I say attack, I mean empty out the hive. You know, I remember in the 80s when we first started really hearing a lot about killer bees. And it was like, well, what are they? What do they do, you know? Well, we're starting to see it, you know, on a regular basis. One of the things is the fact that they empty out the hive on people.
Well, I got some tri-dye going.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here's a hole.
You got a hole?
Yeah.
These?
Yep. Down below here.
Yeah.
Crack in the wall.
Okay, well, I'm going to fill this up with expanding foam.
Okay.
See, these walls, you could put about 100 cans of expanding foam in here and fill it up and you'd have an insulated pallet wall.
Right.
But as long as the bees can't get in, that's really our main.
Yeah, southern Arizona. We're in Cochise County. We're actually in a
We're
part
near
of
Tucson.
Benson. We're near Tucson right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, southern Arizona.
We get around.
Yes. A lot of honey farms in Oklahoma. Well, what is a native pollinator if not bees? Well, when you say bees, you have to think about what bees. What are you talking about? Bees. There's
honeybees.
There's hundreds and hundreds of species of bees beyond honeybees.
Yeah, actual thousands.
Yeah. So just you gotta.
But honeybees are invasive to the Western Hemisphere.
Right.
And so it's not a broad general sweeping statement. There's either European honeybees or Africanized.
Right.
But there are thousands of different other bees. Everything, you know, bumblebees, wasps, hornets, little carpenter bees. There are so many different species just in our northern Sonora Desert area here. We have over 1,000 different species of native pollinators that these damned Africanized bees are driving to or near extinction. Yeah, it's a broad general sweep. An invasive species is driving to or near extinction, our native pollinators. So we're pro home team, okay? We're sticking with the home team.
Right, native pollinators.
Yeah, we're sticking with the home team, not the away team.
Right.
Because the honeybees are the away team, and with the Africanization, they're winning. No, we can't have that.
So,
and this is not halftime.
So here's a question. Africanized bees in Africa.
Well, no, not that we know of yet, although there was an incident in Nigeria where a guy got really seriously attacked. Now, African bees, yes. Africanized. You see, Africanized implies and means the crossbreed between African and European. So it's the crossbreed between African, European, you get Africanized. Why are they called Africanized instead of Europeanized? Because the genes, they're still 96 to 98% African. And also, the African bees were brought to this hemisphere for the experiments. So so that's why they're called Africanized. So Africanized. African bees are known to be a bit pissy. I mean, there are German bees. and that some Italian bees, and there are some bees that are as pissy. There are a lot of different types of European bees. Let's make that clear first. That are as pissy as African bees. African bees can be definitely pissy, but not like Africanized. When they bred the Africanized, they wanted to make a better bee, and of course all they were thinking about was pollination, honey production, and disease resistance. Well, that worked. Awesome. It worked great. But they also got all the rest of the shit in the barrel.
Yeah.
You can't just pick and choose what you're going to get, okay? And so they ended up with the meanest damn bee on the planet, and actually the most dangerous thing that we live with now. You can ask any of the ranchers out here, any of the cowboys we've been dealing with them for 30 years,
Yeah.
and it's universal now. Everybody's lost relatives, everybody's lost livestock for sure, horses and cows and all that, and so they are invasive. They do not belong here. They're mean as shit. So the African bee is in Africa, and that's all fine and dandy. And there are many different species of honeybees in. So these guys, and this is a relatively new invasion because they've only been here since the 90s.
Yeah, and they are more dangerous than sharks.
Oh God, yes.
They are more dangerous than polar bears.
You know more people die from deer attacks than sharks every year from deer. I'm a hunter.
And these are more dangerous than deer.
These are the most dangerous things we live with.
Yes.
They're absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
So, good question.
Incidentally, not more dangerous than mosquitoes.
No, mosquitoes are the worst.
Mosquitoes kill
Yeah,
more
worst
people.
insect, the worst insect.
Animal.
Yeah. Boy, thank God they don't swarm like these guys do. Although, of course, if you're sitting out in your backyard, you'd think they do. But they work as individuals. They don't work as a unit, as a team. These guys work as a unit, as a team.
They're team players.
Yeah, they certainly are team players. Much to the chagrin. How big is that hole over there?
Big enough that I can get a straw in there. Maybe with a little help. You know, I might have to make the hole.
I'm coming over.
Oh, okay.
I'm coming. I'm not standing on this side. I'm not on the fence. I'm not on the fence
this
anymore.
Side of the wall.
I'm not. I'm home team. I'm not away team.
Here we go.
I'm gonna try to get over there now without getting strangled by this. Not doing the limbo anymore. Not doing the bimbo either.
Visit Cape Cod, 2,400 great white sightings last month.
Yeah,
but
where we got?
Even so, right here.
Oh yeah. See, just enough of these damned holes in these old walls.
My point is,
were they coming out of here?
Killer bees, yeah. Killer bees kill
Really?
more people than sharks every year.
What the hell?
More people than sharks.
Well,
more
now, what about that
than
Guadalajara thing?
rattlesnakes? Well, yeah, the Guadalajara, yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
there are. Look at, there's ants.
Yeah.
We'll have to use. We have something for the ants too. Oh, there we go. You were right. Yep.
Yeah.
I just had to get a hole big enough to see what the hell I'm doing here. All right, there we go. Well, you see, all hollow.
Yeah.
That's the problem with these damn things. It's going to take more than. I'm not really concerned about that. We'll do the tri-dye here.
Oh yeah, people have no idea how bad it's going to get.
No.
Because they don't really have a reference point for it.
Well, no one does.
Well, the South Americans do.
Oh my God.
And the Central Americans
In
do.
Guadalajara, there are 300 attacks every month, just in the city of Guadalajara. 300 that are reported. And
Right.
the attacks of killer bees, not sharks.
Right.
Guadalajara is not on the ocean.
Yeah.
300.
So Mexico, I mean, there's just
and
so
that's
many
just
people
one city in
every
Latin
year.
America. How many cities, you know? There are tens of thousands of attacks every month in Latin America of Africanized bees, and it never even makes the news. I mean, you know, people get kidnapped, it barely makes the damn news. So it's horrifying that they are now in all the lower 48 states.
Yeah, we have got a UK beekeeper
Hi.
on here.
Oh, bless your socks. Have you got
So
any
we,
hot hives?
We love beekeepers in the UK because
We love them in the
honeybees
Yep, that's where you
belong
belong.
in the UK. So great.
I gotta get more of this.
Yeah, he says, you know, he's talking about how he suits up or whatever. I'm curious, Kurt Kusay, you know, are you getting hot hives out there?
Yeah, we're very curious.
We're very
buddy.
curious because it's pretty clear that Africanized honeybees have made it to the UK. Unfortunately, it was only a matter of time.
Did you look on the outside of that wall?
I did. No, I did not.
The
Not on the
outside of
outside. Not on the outside.
Yeah,
I
we
need
got to
to
go do that.
Are we gonna? Did you stick new ven in here?
If it'll fit.
Oh yeah, it'll fit now. I chopped one up
Okay.
in the bucket.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the bucket then.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna kick it yet.
Yeah, we're gonna put a new ven in there.
Too early.
So now, Africanized honeybees are in all the lower 48 states. They're in every bioregion of the U.S. It's just a question of saturation. So in the desert Southwest, we're at 100% saturation amongst feral hives. This is a feral hive. Nobody put these bees here, right? Oh yeah, they're in Virginia. Again, I don't know what the concentration is or the saturation in feral hives are. In Virginia, for example. And good luck getting accurate measurements on that. But we do know that in the desert Southwest, 100% of the feral hives are Africanized.
Was there anything more behind these bushes down?
No, I looked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely have to go look over there then. And also, what we're not looking at, and we haven't, is ground level.
How do they become
Oh,
Africanized?
good question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Good question, actually. In the beginning, it's all crossbreeding.
It's DNA.
Yep, it's all genetic. That's all it is. The Africanized bee is a cross between European and African.
No, they look the same as European.
Oh, they look
honeybees.
exact. In fact, the bees you're seeing here are Africanized.
These are all killer bees.
And you can't tell. That's a problem for beekeepers especially, because you can't tell, okay? You simply cannot tell.
Now they're definitely in Georgia. In fact, I think in 2007 they killed somebody in Georgia.
Yeah, Hosh is putting together a map. Don Shar, a good buddy out there in Pennsylvania, who's coming to visit actually, and going to get him in the bee suit. We got a couple of removals lined up for you, Don. Hope you're bringing your depends.
Yeah, they're probably at close to 100% in Georgia.
Yeah, all of the South. Yep. Now we're not talking managed hives here. We're talking feral hives.
Feral hives.
We don't know anything about managed hives. We just know that if you're a backyard beekeeper, your hive will become Africanized. So these ants are actually a good sign because they're sweet ants.
Yeah.
And we do have the Termidor that we can use on them. But right now I'm just looking to actually fill this wall up with expanding foam.
Yeah.
Because if the door is closed, nobody can get in.
Yeah.
But the Africanized bees would never allow these ants around. So that's a good thing. These could be robber bees. But then again, a few days ago, our buddy that was working just 40, 50 yards away got attacked.
Yeah. But John, if you live in Florida, most likely any honeybees that you see are killer bees.
Now, you cannot tell by their immediate behavior whether they're Africanized or not. We hear this all the time. They can't be Africanized. They haven't tried to kill you. It had nothing to do with it. That is the problem, is they might be nice, or the illusion of nice. I guess.
It's like Jeffrey Dahmer on a non-killing
Exactly.
day.
Jeffrey, yep. Awfully nice to meet on the street. Don't come over for dinner.
Have lunch with him.
Don't come over for dinner.
Yes.
You know, Ed Gein.
Yes.
That's a northern Wisconsin thing from back in the day. Anyway, you can't trust them. Now, I got one on me here. You cannot trust them from one moment to the next. That's the problem. See, all of us grew up, and for thousands of years, people had the idea that honeybees were nice, because they were, for the most part. They gave us honey, the only insect that gives us food that we eat, and they didn't try to kill us all the time. So it's really an illusion, because everybody thinks Africanized, well, then they got to try to kill you every time you look at them. No, that's not it. You can't trust them. How I put it is they have a very short fuse on a very big bomb, and you don't know what's going to light that damn thing. That is the problem right there. All right, so that's got that one. Boy, I dumped a can in heaven. That's going to fill this void up.
And it is a big bomb, don't doubt. You really got to pay attention to this. This is a real thing.
Oh,
you know, they just closed those parks in Malibu, California.
Yeah, they had to close the park because so many people were attacked.
You don't.
I don't even know how many.
You can't fathom what it looks like when they all come out and they kill somebody.
It's horrific.
It's
the guy
nuts.
in,
it's a really painful way to die.
One of the guys in Guadalajara that got attacked was rappelling. His buddies were rappelling. He was up on top, And the bees, they got halfway down, maybe 100 feet, and bees attacked. Well, all his 3 or 4 buddies on the ropes were able to slide down really fast and get away. Then the bees went up to the top and killed him. And when they autopsied him, his stomach was full of bees. Didn't have a few hundred, was full. His lungs. The people that have gotten attacked that I know that have lived say it's like drowning. Because you're trying to breathe, trying to gulp in air, and you can't, because every time you open your mouth, you've got 100 bees or 500 bees in your mouth. And it's the worst nightmare you can imagine. So watch some of our vids. It's horrific. But see, we're not pulling any wool over. We're not romanticizing a fucking thing. We don't care. We're just telling you the truth about what's going on. We think that people should be aware of what's going on and aware of what your neighbor has in their backyard. Does your neighbor have a hive in the desert Southwest? Beware.
Yeah.
Keep your
and
kids
really in the Midwest too. Somebody commented, they said, "Oh, I see honeybees on sage plants all the time in the Midwest."
Yeah.
And, well,
They killed that guy in Ohio.
Well, they didn't kill him, but they put him in the hospital.
Yeah, he was
Austin
tree trimming,
in
right?
Ripley.
Tree trimming.
Yeah. So they're all over. The Midwest is actually a huge growing hot spot right now.
They're in Billings, Montana.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Now, may not be the saturation rate that we have here.
Now they're foraging out on plants. They're probably not going to bother you. I say probably.
Well, if they ever start
probably
doing that, we're screwed.
But if you're hiking and you get near their hive,
oh god,
and they're having an off day or an on day,
yeah,
they
Depends on
all
perspective.
come out, and all of a sudden you're breathing bees for a living.
yeah, it's not good, or for a dime.
So you really you got to take this seriously. You definitely want to research this.
Yeah, you really should. Not only for the existential thing or the more esoteric thing of their killing our native pollinators, but because when you see a ball of bees hanging in a tree anymore, they might be Africanized.
And the chances that they are Africanized are getting better and better all over the U.S.
And that is what killed our buddy Dan Oldfield down here in Bisbee, was a ball of bees hanging in a tree.
Yeah, yeah.
He thought he'd get on the backhoe and joggle it, and they killed his ass. So it's every week in this county, they kill a dog, a horse, or a goat. You can't trust them. That's what it boils down to. And so we just want people to be aware of what you have in your backyard and the illusions that come with honeybees. There are a lot of illusions in this hemisphere. I cannot stress that enough.
A lot of romantic
If you're
bullshit.
we have a lot of fans, a lot of Killer Bee Nation in Wales, Scotland, England, Ireland, and Europe, and bless your socks for keeping bees. Hell, if I lived there, I'd keep bees. Absolutely. Not here. I had to stop. When I used to keep bees in the late 80s, and then the Africanized moved in the early 90s up by the tunnel in Bisbee, I used to, by the mid 90s, I would watch clouds of my bees chase cars down Highway 80. It was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing that.
So what is the end game or solution?
There is no end game. There is an ongoing game. There is no end solution. There is an ongoing solution, and that is being aware. Do not let a feral hive live on your property, under your shed, up in the eaves of your house. Not only, if it's not Africanized, it's still invasive and hurting your native plants, your native pollinators. If your neighbor's keeping a hive, maybe have a friendly discussion with them and just say, have you heard about this? I mean, you don't want to be confrontational unless you already are with them, and then what the hell, you know? But I know that a lot of states are requiring people to register if you're keeping bees. And there are some towns in Wisconsin now that you cannot keep bees in the city limits because of Africanization. So there is no end. It's ongoing. And we just really want backyard beekeepers to go away. That's basically what we want.
I want them licensed.
Or licensed to know what they're doing and know. But the problem with it is you cannot, if you have a beehive in your backyard, European even, they are foraging in a 3-mile radius. They're hurting a 3-mile radius around you. Do you have the right to do that?
Right.
Even if you're licensed?
You don't have
If
a
they
right.
stayed in your damn yard,
We want backyard beekeeping
like your
to go away.
ostrich or your emu,
But they don't. And they swarm.
they don't. and then they swarm and propagate the whole damned area with bees. So do you have the right to do that?
No.
I don't think so. So I'm even, now that I've thought it through, I'm against licensing. I don't think people should, I don't want people, I want backyard beekeepers to go away because they're hurting our environment, and their honey is not going to go away. We're going to have plenty of honey. The big boys, they have so much honey, it's ridiculous. Honey is not going away, period.
In fact,
the big boys, we trust them. They breed, they're professionals.
And the big boys will likely start using Africanized bees eventually.
Well, they do at some point, because, well, to a point, but
just
if they, you know,
easier.
okay, just like every Rottweiler is not behaved like every other Rottweiler or Chihuahua or whatever the hell. Same thing with Africanized bees. If they're not too hot, let them do their job, but they will get too hot at some point. And when that happens with the big boys, they have their educated and trained people in the bee yards, taking them out with the forklifts to put on, in bee suits, to put on the fields for pollination. Then 2 weeks later, they pull them off, put them on the semis, throw nets over them, and drive to the next place across the country.
Funny, we got trolls on TikTok saying we're big honey.
We are what?
That we are big honey.
Oh,
Trolls
God,
on TikToks. Idiots.
Holy fuck, I'd have a bigger fire truck than that. That's for goddamn sure. You guys are morons. That's adorable.
Goofballs.
Oh my God, that's.
Don't listen to these guys. They're big honey.
Oh, that's
you
awesome.
are so removed
that's
from
awesome.
reality.
You know what? You're gonna have to move out of your mother's basement at some point, there, kid.
Stupid.
That's adorable. I wish, because then we'd be sponsored by them. No, that ain't happening.
It's not.
Man, if
no, we're a mom and pop
if we were
business.
sponsored by
Actually,
them,
we're just
I
a
could
pop
not say
business.
we're not.
It's
Okay,
a
legally,
small,
I cannot say.
Yeah.
What?
I said we're a small mom and pop business. Actually, it's just pop.
Snap, crackle, and pop. Actually, when Trez is here, more like Curly, Moe, and Larry. No, legally, if I was sponsored by them, I would have to tell you, we're not.
Right.
Boy, do I wish we contact your uncle who's a big bee guy and tell him to sponsor me, please.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
You guys are just, who's Daddy's little troll? Well, sure, it's fun to have you guys along. It's been a few days since even you trolls, who's Daddy's little troll? Since it's been a few days, look at this, Hosh. I'm going to need a few more cans.
Yeah, you think they're this far down?
I
we
don't
can't
want
risk
to come
it.
back.
It doesn't even matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's go get some more cans of this
All right,
shit.
you got it.
So, anyway, it's nice to, be back in the saddle with you guys. It's been a few days. You know what I realized with this? A couple of things. I wanted to show you
If you want to hold this, I'll go get some cans.
Yeah, get like 3 or 4, 100 or something.
Yeah,
Okay. And have we seen any more bees?
We used up everything in there?
Okay, yeah, I think so. Take a look.
I had some partials in there.
Okay, well, if we can use them, let's use them.
I wanted to use that.
So I wanted to show you guys, we guarantee it for 2 years, and this is a redo. We're not going to pay it on this one. And that's just, if you're in business, have integrity, just do it. If you guarantee it, go back, take care of it, set up the appointment. That's why we do it, so you got to, be responsible. I actually teach for the state for licensing, continuing education and whatnot. It's just do it right. It's just responsible. It's integrity, for God's sake. We got some holes over here too, Hosh.
Okay.
No bees, but holes.
Right.
So we kind of want to make sure that we're hole free. Hole free, as free as the bee flies. Okay, that was lame, but anyway. And it's really, nice to have you guys back on for a minute. I realized we haven't been super busy for one primary reason. Well, 2 reasons, actually. We haven't had a lot of rain. In fact, in certain parts of the county, like Bisbee, it's been stupid. There hasn't been any, and it's a real bother, driving me nuts. It's just way too dry. It's a piss poor monsoon season. I'm looking for bees back here while I'm talking to you guys. Here we go. Anybody see anything? No, I don't see any hives there. I don't know how to get back here. Now, this is locked up. Damn it. So no rain, and of course there's still Mother Nature. Also, I realized that a bee's house is made of wax, right? Well, when it's 105 or 10 or 40 degrees out or whatever the hell it is, it melts. So everybody is in the hive doing fanning. They're all working on HVAC units. I don't see any activity. Do you guys? Hold on, let me look. So they're all in. They will fan individual cells to keep babies alive, to keep their house from melting, because sure shit it will. And I mean, everybody's in working right now. So when it does cool off, which of course it'll better at some point, I hope, they will get back to it again. And the rains are supposed to start here in, I don't know, a week or something like that. So if it gets back to semi-normal, then they'll be exploding again and going off the chain. I'm gonna walk on the outside of this wall too, guys, and see what it looks like. Try to not get in trouble with any snakes. So, and they're also predicting a really weird winter. I don't know if you saw that, just because of the El Nino thing. These bees can survive better than European bees. Okay, that was why they were made. So they can survive lower temperatures, higher temperatures, wetter conditions, drier conditions than European bees. So we're not getting rid of them. They're here to stay. And, oh, I do see activity. Son of a bitch, we got another hide, guys. I think. Let me see. Gotta watch out for snakes, too. I was sure I saw oh boy. I don't know. Too many hands going here. Well, maybe not. All right, we're gonna keep an eye out on that one.
What do you got over there, Reed?
I'm not sure. There's too many weeds. I'm gonna have you come look. I'm gonna have you come grab the camera, actually. So these bees can do better. They can do anything better than Europeans. So they're gonna live. They're gonna be fine. There's gonna be way too many of them. I gotta watch out for snakes. Here you go.
Yep. There you go.
All right, I'm trying to. Well, if we find another hive here, we're getting out. We got a poison.
Right.
We gotta go off the chain with them. There's too many fucking weeds. Gotta make sure I got no snakes. Snakes alive. So, drought, freezing, flooding, cold winter, whatever. Africanized bees can do better. A while back, Hosh put it the best. He said, wherever European bees can survive, Africanized bees can thrive. And that's pretty much what it boils down to, and what we've seen. Well, this is a clusterfuck.
Oh, the chickens are doing all right. I've got actually a bunch of chicks, and just built them a nursery last night.
Don't tell your wife that.
I got a bunch of side chicks. No, I've got what? Never.
A band,
Never. No, I've got.
God damn it.
I got a bunch of little
These
chicks,
fucking
and
mosquitoes.
mom's
So
taking
many
care of them, and I just built a nursery for them last night. So doing all right.
You lost a goat though.
I did. I lost a couple goats over the weekend. Yep. They were not part of my original herd. They were critters I brought in from somebody had given them to me, and yeah, I had two of them die, a brother and a sister, over the weekend. It's kind of sad. They, I think they were weak constitutionally. Just weak.
We're bee hunting, guys.
Weak goats, and I think the heat really pushed them over the edge. What are you seeing?
Nothing along there, so that's good. Okay, happy. So that's amazing, because he was working with equipment, weed whacking, and got attacked by those few bees.
Here, we can go through here, I think.
Oh! Well, now I feel like a genius. Okay, never mind. Thank you.
Yeah, well, the first one, but you had pointed out a second one, I believe.
Closer, right?
Yeah.
Yep, so anyway, just nice to have you guys back on, see the family, you know, partake of words of wisdom and all that bullshit, and, you know, because it's pertinent. People got to know.
Bees do bees freeze?
You know, actually, people have asked me, why don't you use CO2 or nitrogen? And so back when Electric Dave was making beer down here in Bisbee. He had the first microbrewery license in the state of Arizona in '88, and I was there. And yeah, like one of my best friends in town. I just love Dave. And he, look it up, electric beer. Anyway, he one time I said, you know, I'd like to try this freezing them. It's 20 years ago, and they were still Africanized. And so he said, well, nitrogen, you know, I got a thing you can use. It's just a short thing. It's really expensive and all that. And I was like, well, I'd like to give it a try. Maybe it was CO2. I can't remember. Anyway, I gave him a blast, and that whole thing froze. Looked like solid to me. And I started removing comb and all that. They started thawing out and attacking. What in the hell? So the thing about freezing, I know what you're asking, is in the hive. You know, if it's 10 below outside, that's the thing, especially about Africanized bees. They are so incredibly resilient that I was talking about how they cool the hive a minute ago, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they fan.
Yeah, they thermoregulate the hive.
They do. They got their own HVAC unit that includes heating. So if it's 10 below outside, they will gather. I guess this isn't really much of a crack.
No.
I don't want it to become one, which it will, of course. Or well, fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh well. So so it's kind of like the penguin thing, where they'll get in a ball in the center and rotate out from the center out and vibrate, which creates heat, of course, and eat honey, which is pure energy. And by doing that, if it's 10 below outside, they can keep it at about 65 degrees in there.
Right on.
Is that awesome or what?
It
I mean,
is.
you know, if you're going to have an invasive species, they may as well be really cool, right?
Yeah.
So it's just fascinating stuff, and it's too bad they're invasive, but they are. So tough shit. You know, they belong in Europe, they belong in Wales, they belong in Scotland, belong in Germany. Have at it, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not here. They're hurting our native environment. So anyway, well, what do you think? I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, you guys, thanks so much. It's just been a little wander around the desert session, but what the hell, you know, we have fun no matter what we're doing. I think Hosh is going to be, are you going to have a vid done for tomorrow or for Friday? Maybe.
I'm committed to.
I'm committed. If he isn't committed, he should be.
One way or another.
One way or another.
Yeah, I plan
it's
to get
an
one
incredible vid. Yeah, done in Douglas. Oh my God, I can't wait for you guys to see it.
It's a pre-Hosh video.
It's a pre-Hosh video, exactly.
It's actually just from like the year before I joined you.
Yeah, so it was like 3 or 4 years ago. So anyway, well, love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and keep the comments coming, of course. You know, comment on vids. We do answer as much as we can. We get a lot, and we really appreciate you guys. If you want some honey, of course, go to killerbeeguy.com and get some damn honey. And if you want to go to Patreon, if you want to help us, it really does help financially, because no, we're not sponsored by the big boys.
We're not big honey.
No, we're not big
We're
honey.
Not big anything.
I've been called, actually, that was my porn star name.
Big
honey.
anything.
Yeah, big honey.
Big honey.
Big honey. Get it? Never mind, that was wrong.
Big honey.
Anyway, but no, we're not sponsored by anybody, actually, except you. I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
I mean, people like Don and Mel and Dan up at the Blue Water Cafe. Oh, speaking of the Blue Water Cafe.
Yeah. Yeah, they sent us these big
If you're up in
suits.
Grand Marais on the north shore of Lake Superior, go have some pie.
Yeah.
Or cobblers, I like to call it. Anyway, that's another video. All right, love you guys. Yeah, go to killerbeeguy.com and get some damned honey, and we'll talk to you. We have a job tomorrow morning, so we'll see you in the morning. Say goodbye, Hosh.
All right. Hey everybody, thanks for being with us today. Listen, honeybee Africanization is on the rise all over the U.S., like we've been saying. And what that means is this: if you see bees coming and going anywhere on your property, not just bees hanging around your flowers or in your trees or whatever, I'm saying they're coming in and out of a soffit, a hole in the wall, anything like that, you want to call an exterminator. Don't call a beekeeper. Don't call anybody that's going to relocate. I don't care if you're in Rhode Island. You want to really kill your bees. Kill your invasive honeybees. Kill your feral honeybees. They're heading towards Africanization everywhere now. If you're in the desert Southwest, you definitely want to ixnay those guys. And if you're in Cochise County, give us a call. We'll come take care of it for you. Do your research. Pay attention. Everything we're saying on here, you can back it up online. Look for it. You'll find your answers. Definitely do your own research, though. We'll see you guys on the next job.